In this video we are going to talk about one of my favorite royals, Queen Rania of Jordan. For me, personally, Queen Rania is one of the most beautiful, stylish, elegant royals. I've been following her already for a long time, since the first time I saw her and her very beautiful clothing style that is really special. She must have, I think, one of the best stylists of all royals, at least to my view, but also her way of being, her body language and her poise really amazed me from the very beginning. She's quite active on social media, so you see a lot of her life and of what she does, and of course you also see a lot of her great outfits. In this video I want to take a closer look on not only her style, because you will see her style on the pictures that I will show you, but more so on what makes her so graceful apart from her great style. Her body language, her walk, how she positions herself, how she holds her hands. Whether you are a fan of Queen Rania or you have never heard about her yet or not so much, because of course as the Queen of Jordan she might not be so known for the Western ladies, as for example Princess Catherine. Let's see what we can learn from her, and you can decide whether you want to let yourself be inspired by her or simply learn a little bit. For those of you who don't know Queen Rania that well, or who are simply not so familiar with the Jordanian royal family, I will give you just a few facts so that you know who we are talking about. So Queen Rania was born on the 31st of August in 1970. That means that she's 54 at this time, and I think she looks gorgeous. She has studied business administration at the American University in Cairo, and then a few years later at a dinner reception she met her now husband and the King of Jordan, King Abdullah Al-Hussein, and she married him in 1993. I have read that in the beginning when they met he was super smitten by her, but she was not really very interested, and after a time and after some courting she eventually realized that he would be a good match, and I think they really make a beautiful couple, and until now they seem very happy and they seem to have a very harmonious and respectful relationship. You see that on the pictures and also in videos on social media. They have 4 kids together, beautiful kids. 2 of them are already married, and one of them is the Crown Prince Hussein, who is married to Rajwa. So I think that she simply has a very beautiful family and seems to live a very purposeful life, because she's also very active in improving the educational system in Jordan. She's also very active with regard to women empowerment and improving the protection of children and families. So she lives quite an active life and is very committed to those humanitarian aspects, but at the same time she's also very committed to always looking great, and this is something that might also be inspiring for us. Her clothing style, I think, is really the perfect mixture of traditional and a very modern style. She sometimes has a really flamboyant style, very untypical for the royals that we know. For example, I think that Princess Catherine has a much more classic style, although she also uses bright colors, etc. But the style of Queen Rania is something else. It is kind of very diverse, and then, as I said, it has this traditional aspect as well as the very modern, even relaxed, easygoing, but also then very elegant aspect. Let's start with Queen Rania's graceful posture while sitting, standing and walking. With regard to her posture, it is very visible that she always maintains a good posture. She really mastered the posture of a queen, and she has an upright posture in any situation. But with regard to how she stands and how she holds her body and her head, it is very obvious that she is a queen. And she doesn't appear arrogant, she doesn't appear too extreme. She's simply very elegant and sophisticated in her composure. And she is not only standing tall on official occasions, but there is something that I noticed from her with regard to standing next to her husband, the king, who is smaller than her. Although the king is significantly smaller than Rania, especially with her heels, she always maintains her upright posture and stands tall next to him. And I think we should take an example, because even when people are smaller than us, we should never slouch or lower ourselves or lose our upright posture. Always stand tall like a queen. Now let's move on to point number 2, how Rania holds her hands. So, hand positions. I took this as a point of its own because there are so many pictures that show specific hand positions that Rania always use and that she seems to prefer. So Queen Rania seems to like to hold her hands together, like with her fingers folded like this, and she's seen with that hand position on many pictures when she's sitting, but sometimes auch when she's standing and just listening. So this seems to be her preferred hand position. And I also think that thanks to this position, she shows this very confident, secure and composed, calm demeanor. This is because by holding the hands like this, she kind of transfers not only control, but also calmness. Another position that she also uses is simply holding her hands like that, so one hand over the other. And I think that for you ladies, or for us who sometimes don't know what to do with our hands while we are sitting or standing or at the table, we can take this as a good example. If you want to know more hands position, more feminine and elegant ones, then I recommend you to check out my video, this one, about hand positions. I will link it down below so that you can watch it afterwards. Before I come to the next point, which is walk and the kind of shoes that facilitate the queen-like walk, I want to say something with regard to posture, why I find it so important and why holding yourself like a queen can be so beneficial for you and for us normal ladies too. Now, I think you don't have to be a queen to have the queen's posture. You can use the same kind of posture and carry yourself with grace and poise as Queen Rania. And not only will you appear always graceful and elegant, but I also think that people are going to treat you better. I mean, we are visual beings and we are also very influenced by how someone appears to us, how they hold their bodies, how they position themselves, their body language, even subconsciously. And of course, if you are educated, like all my ladies here are, of course, and polite, we will respect everyone. But the truth is that there are many disrespectful people in this world, and by keeping yourself upright in a graceful position, you will also inspire those people to respect you more, because people simply will perceive you as someone who respects themselves, someone confident enough to hold themselves upright, graceful enough to have a certain composure. And this will also make those people respect you more, because with your body language you also communicate. And if you slouch your back, if you hold your hand like that, if you stand in an insecure way with your feet or hands, or like in a distant way, those kind of people might react badly and might not be respectful towards you, at least not as respectful as they would if you had the queen's posture. I will just call it the queen's posture now. Let me know what you think about that, but this is my personal experience and also what research tells us. But let me know your opinion. I'm very curious to read from you. Now let's move on to another aspect of body language and movement. Queen Rania's walk is also very nice, and I will tell you why I really love her walk because she represents perfectly the sophisticated walking style, one of the 4 feminine walking styles that I have elaborated. And if you don't know that video yet, I will also link it down below so that you can watch it and do the test to find out your feminine walking style archetype. And how is this specific walking style characterized? The pictures and videos of Queen Rania show that perfectly. She is always walking on a line. You see how her feet are perfectly aligned. She puts one foot in front of the other, always. And of course, she is also walking with a steady rhythm and with a certain purpose. Together with the upright and graceful posture, this characterizes the sophisticated walking style archetype. Now, let's take a closer look at her feet, because what of course is very obvious is that on almost like 99% of her pictures, she is wearing high heels and specific ones. They are all kind of the same style, and this reminds me also very much of the style other royal queens and princesses are wearing, such as Catherine or Queen Letizia. They are wearing pointy heels that have a relatively delicate heel that is not extremely high. So I would say around 10 centimeters. The colors of course differ, and also the style of the shoe differs a little bit, but actually they all look almost the same. They are all pointy and with a delicate higher heel. Now, of course, this kind of shoe not only looks very elegant and graceful, but it also facilitates your elegant walk. And I think that's why Rania is also able to walk in a very elegant way, because the shoes help her with that. We have seen a lot about walking, or I hope at least you have seen. If not, watch my videos. I will link the playlist and everything that is relevant down below. But we know that there are different walking styles and that the shoes are also influencing our walking style. Let's take a look on how Queen Rania walks down the stairs. So we see that she always maintains her upright posture, even though she has to look down a little bit to look where she walks. But still, she always stays upright. Here you can see her 2 daughters walking down the stairs in long dresses, holding them up gently. So let's take an example and always maintain our posture when walking down the stairs. By the way, if you are new here on this channel and you're enjoying these kind of topics, I would be very happy to welcome you among my subscribers. So just take your time to click the notification bell and the subscribe button. Now let's move on to the next point. The calm and composed gaze and warm smile of Queen Rania. So here we are going to take a close look at her expressions. Queen Rania is also known for her calm and composed gaze and her steady eye contact that she always maintains, and that makes other people also feel at ease. You can communicate a lot with your eyes, and Queen Rania is using this in a very good way. She establishes connections with people, and she shows respect by looking at them while they talk, or when she's attending an event, by having her eyes fixed on the person who is speaking. This is something that is very important for us ladies too, and we should really put a big emphasis on eye contact, especially when we are talking to people. Our eyes should not wander around or look at our phones or what is happening in the room. When we are in a conversation, we should really look the person that we are talking to in the eye, or if we cannot look them in the eye, then look here on this point between the eyebrows, that the other person will perceive that you are looking in their eyes. But for you, it might be easier when you are a little bit shy. I had that problem in the past. Do this and the person will feel much more, well, valued and understood, and will have a much more positive attitude towards you after that. So you show empathy, you show respect, you show positivity by gifting your attention to another person by looking them in the eyes. And the same applies to when you are invited at some event, or someone is giving a speech, or even in a work meeting. Give your whole attention to the person who is speaking. They will perceive that, and it will make such a difference. Of course, you can look a little bit if you're in an event. You don't have to be like fixed like that, but you know what I mean. You get the point, I guess. And if you pair that with a warm smile, like Queen Rania does, she really has a beautiful smile, and her smile is also putting people at ease. It is establishing connections. It makes her approachable as a royal. And this paired with this warm eye contact is really a very powerful combination. And it gives her this kindness and the positive attitude that we see also from her. Just use your smile and smile a lot. And actually, most women, there are only a few exceptions, look more beautiful when they smile. Even if you think that you look better when you don't smile or with a serious face, and there are types of women who simply look gorgeous when they don't smile, and even more. For example, Monica Bellucci. But this mysterious type of woman, it's not every one of us, and also it depends on the situation. Of course, there are situations in which you can appear more mysterious, and that will be okay. You can still smile a little bit. But in most situations, and especially when you have to do with people or are in the public, it is much more beneficial for you when you smile. So of course I could say much more about this stunning queen, and I could also say more about her outfits, although I think that now we have seen a lot of her outfits, and this video was more about body language. So if you feel inspired by that, and my purpose is to show you that you as normal ladies can simply feel like a queen, can move like a queen, can act like a queen, can look like a queen, and of course we don't have to take it to the extreme. But it won't hurt us, and it will be also very beneficial for you, because you can exude the same kindness, confidence and approachability by simply adapting a few of these tips with regard to an upright posture, the hands position, a warm smile and a calm gaze, as well as a very elegant, sophisticated walk. And of course, the style, but this is something individual. So if you found that video interesting, I would be very happy if you give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one.